Yeah, man.
We got the Raycons here, on the table, Sam, man. What's that promo code for them again? If they can grab them Raycons.
It's real big on the screen for y'all right here. And if you're listening, here's what it is. It's buyraycon.com/HHU101.
Yes, sir.
Once again, that is buyraycon.com/HHU101. Go get your Raycons right now. We're not just throwing a plug out. These are my personal pair of Raycons. You see here, I use these every day for my workout. I get my vibe on. These are perfect for phone calls. You can do your podcast on there. I went live on many occasions with these earphones right here. They got Hip Hop Uncensored podcast stamp of approval.
15% off too. Can't beat that now.
On an already cheap product. Throw that on there. You're getting a steal, man. Go grab yours right now.
Right now, the link will be in the description box of this YouTube channel right now, right under this video. Make sure that you hit that link right now. Get your special pair of Raycon, man. 15% off. United Arab Emirates.
Yeah.
I forget where it's at exactly.
United Arab, yeah. Salute to y'all. Georgia,
right.
Kuwait, New Zealand, Switzerland, India, Colombia, Nigeria, Indonesia, Philippines, Kenya, Norway, Austria, Ivory Coast, Belgium, Belize, Dominican Republic, Morocco, and that's just to name a few.
Dope.
Salute to all the other ones: Costa Rica, Spain, Iran, Poland, Russia. Goddamn, we are reaching the world, man. I was having some social distancing conversation with some of my neighbors, man, because I think they was kind of scared. But I was telling them that we do a media brand, and I said worldwide, and I said it kind of reluctantly because I like to mean what I say, and I was just like, I know humbly we hit a lot of people in the States, but I don't know if we do worldwide. Seeing this right here, we going worldwide, man. Salute to everybody that listens to the podcast. It's real humbling, dog.
Definitely, man. Again, we started, man, just, 0 people listening with an idea and a dream. And, man, we keep every day continuing to make this dream go, man. But, yeah, man, I want to get to our next story, Sam, man, for the podcast. We are loaded today, man. Your number one hip-hop podcast. You're tuned in right now. All right, Juelz Santana's wife, Kimbella, has lost the petition, Sam, man, to get Juelz Santana released early from prison. Now, she pretty much put this petition out on change.org, urging people to support her husband with the hope that he could serve the remainder of his sentence at home. Now, right now, he's actually in a federal corrections facility out in Hopewell, Virginia. Sam, man, he's due to be released, real soon here. But we've seen people, again, like 6ix9ine and other people, get released. And obviously, the reason everybody, is putting out right now because the virus that's going around, but as well as other conditions. When you sign the petition, and how do you feel about, once again, Juelz Santana being released?
He's currently behind bars for a nonviolent crime. No one's sitting behind bars because of anything that he said on the stand. Let that brother come home. He's sitting in a situation where obviously he was dealing with some demons when he had to deal with his legal issues. Give the brother a chance and allow him safety, comfort in knowing that he can be away from a virus and be treated properly. In fact, he came in contact with anything while in there, and either fill out his remainder of his sentence on the bracelet, however they got to do it. You can't go anywhere anyway, and bring that man home, man. I really don't see a reason in why they won't, but we know how this system works.
Absolutely.
And I don't want to say we only see people coming home that cooperated, because that's not true right now either, but select situations. And it isn't fair all the way around, and that's not right.
Well, he's now 13 months into a 2-year sentence.
Come on,
the petition has only got about 3,000 people who signed it, which is really, like, if you look on his Instagram, I'm sure he has well over 100,000 people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, that are followers of him. So you got to get those numbers up a little bit. But hopefully, this program here, listening to the podcast, will inspire people, to go and actually sign this petition to get him out. I think that, obviously, I mean, like you said, that nonviolent thing, man, is like, when you see that, it's just like, man, get those guys out of there.
Word.
And I mean, selling poison to your community is one thing. You've got bodies on you, that's another thing. But this dude had a gun. Yeah, he had drugs, but he was probably taking it for himself.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? That's not hurting nobody but himself.
Yeah.
He wasn't going to shoot nobody. Let this man out. I think this, it's Juelz Santana, but we'll see. I wish the best for him.
So do I. And I'll hope for his recovery. Obviously, he has children. He has a wife at home. He has a career to finish out. And you want to see people that, like, especially me personally, I obviously grew up in my teenage years and my 20s listening to Dipset and watching him rock out, and to see how it's been as of late is kind of sad. You want to see people like that you grew up watching and enjoying listening to kind of bounce back, man. So I hope for a recovery and a bounce back for Juelz when he gets out. hopefully he gets out in time, man. And salute. And to answer your question, I will sign a petition. Where is it? Because I don't even know
Change.org. I'll probably go to her page, Kimbella.
All right.
And, it should be there.
Gotcha.
Yeah, that's all the information I got on that. But, yeah, I'll definitely go ahead and sign it too. I saw Jim Jones promoting it as well on his page the other day. So, yeah, man, shout out to Juelz, Santana. I want to move over here to this story, Sam, man, about Jay-Z and Meek Mill. We heard about them forming the Organization Reform Alliance. Well, it has been revealed that Jay-Z and Meek Mill's organization, once again, Reform Alliance, will be sending about 100,000 surgical masks to various correctional institutions in the United States. One of those correctional institutions that they're sending to is the one in Mississippi, the Parchment, which is the one that the infamous one that Yo Gotti and Jay-Z got together with to get the Fed to go into because of some of the disgusting, dire conditions that the humans have to live through down there. Also, Rikers Island is another jail in Tennessee Department of Corrections, just one of the number of list of institutions that, or I should say facilities that they're sending these masks to. What are your thoughts? How do you feel about this?
It's a great gesture, and hopefully they're getting to the right places and getting to the right people. But then when you hear up a Y&W Melly, when you see why dude got out from New York, when you see other people that have gotten released, they're not painting a picture like everything is all great and safety is the number one priority. Right. And we've seen a number of donations, not only from Meek Mill and Jay-Z, but from a number of actors, actresses, people in athletics and throughout the world who are able to provide coin to help people in situations, whether it be through the hospital, whether it be in jails or wherever the case may be. You see that people are putting forth coin and putting forth their donation. Right. Is it getting to the right place? I don't know. Now, we were joking around, and I was joking around in the pre-production, like, you don't know what DCOs are doing. They could be using it, pawning it off a commentary. You don't know what's going on in these facilities. All I can hope is they're getting to the proper hands, they're getting in the proper places, and we're protecting people, whether they're behind bars or out here the right way.
No doubt.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I hope the same thing. Hopefully, they can get to those people. We just got to get through all this right now. It's a tough time for everybody, a tough time for the nation that we live in. Hopefully we can all get through this, but I will salute the guys and the actors and the entertainers like Rihanna who have put money behind it, and even Jay-Z, because I think every major catastrophe Jay-Z puts money, behind. So you got to salute it, man. There's nothing you can say negative about it.
Nah, man. You said there's a lot of people suffering. There's a lot of companies suffering. One of those companies is WWE. Now, we talked about it on the Friday podcast, oh God, about WrestleMania. Both growing up idolizing a lot of those wrestlers and watching WrestleMania. And back then, there wasn't a WWE network for $10 that you can watch all these pay-per-views on. The motherfuckers was $75, and we got to see maybe one every other summer or some shit.
Word.
They had it. Obviously, with the virus and the pandemic going on, they still let the show rock. They still let the show go on. We had questions about it. I watched it this weekend. Like I said, oh God, I'm going to give my analysis. That shit was fucking ass.
Really?
I could not believe.
What was the worst part about it? Because no fans were there?
That was the absolute worst part about it. They should have maybe canceled. They should have postponed it. Now looking back at it, and I thought it would do some good. Not having any real entertainment and wrestlers going out there doing their thing. That shit was so ass.
Describe it though. Let's describe it for the people. How was it? So people can get a visual.
You remember the electricity. Now, WrestleMania, you got these big, elaborate entrances. You got the crowds going crazy. You got the announcers. Just this picture being painted after all this hype that you like, oh shit, it's like a prize fight. When you see a motherfucker walk down and trying to look like a mean motherfucker with nobody in the audience. Like, who the fuck are you mean mugging? Like, why are you so angry? And there's dead silence. There's nothing.
They didn't put no fake noise?
No, it's quiet. Like, you had two WWE title change hands in complete silence. Nigga going, like, pinning them, going crazy. Oh, yeah! Holding up the belt. And it's just like, there's no one here, dog.
Right.
This is fucked up. What are you
doing that for?
This is fucked up, man. Like,
walk back in the dressing room silent, nigga.
It just goes to show you how much the crowd really means to all of these events. And it kind of, I don't know if it was a lesson that a lot of the other sports can take from.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Because you saw the NBA talking about potentially doing it, and I would love to see some NBA games, and I think it would be better, but don't sleep on that crowd, man. So what do you think about other athletics getting into this round?
It's probably one of those things because when you heard them talking about it beforehand, they promised you that it will be no different. But now it's one of those things you actually have to do to see how garbage it was. And I've seen it, and I'm like, when I heard him say that, I'm like, there's no way. The crowd is everything. And even more so in wrestling than those other sports, even though the crowd means a lot in those other sports. But a sport like football, sometimes you can go to an arena, it's not that many people there, so it's not crazy.
True.
Basketball, hockey, whatever, but they may be able to get away with it, more so. I think because if you think about it, you watch football on mute sometimes and whatnot, and, it's not real bad or something. You could be doing something else, just watching the game, but to have, I think they should wait till the crowd comes back. Obviously, I don't think that the NBA or NFL should try, to do this because it could end up having the same fate as the WWE. Now, have you heard anybody contrary that says, "Look, that wasn't the case. I liked it like that"? Have you heard that?
No.
Okay.
No.
Wow.
It was ass. It was hard to watch.
Wow.
I think that even I'm not a hardcore wrestling fan the way I used to, and I'm not going to lie, I've watched it well into my 30s, but the last year and a half or so, I haven't really paid attention to it. But I wanted to watch it in these circumstances because it was so different,
right?
Just to kind of get a vibe and go, okay, if we do have to watch the NBA like that, if I had to watch UFC like that in the next couple of weeks, how is this going to be? Garbage.
I would have simulated the crowd.
Garbage.
I would have just simulated the crowd, man. I mean, it would have made it better. Like, you know how the NFL, sometimes they'll be in stadiums and they'll simulate like the crowd knows they have music playing. They should at least did something like that.
They should have did so, or at least kind of went interactive with the fans to where you can kind of tap in and give your live reactions to give some kind of fucking reaction to what people were seeing because you couldn't see shit.
How were the commentators saying they try to be the same? Was that different? The commentary of it?
That was even bad because you have these delays in action where you'll hear a chant or you'll hear this or you'll hear that. And they'll be able to sit back and let that breathe. They were letting shit breathe, and it was just silence.
Wow.
I think it hurt wrestling. I think, okay, because I sit here and think now, I could watch boxing without a crowd. I could sit back and watch some motherfuckers bang out.
Yeah.
I could watch UFC without a crowd. I think that the element that the crowd brings it to WWE, I think the element that it brings it to the NBA and the NFL are sports and entertainment in particular that we got to pay close attention to. And hopefully it doesn't affect it. And hopefully we don't got to talk about it in those next couple of months to even think about it.
No doubt.
Because that shit be stressful. If we talking about the NFL potentially not having fans, why? God damn.
Yeah.
That's a long time.
Yeah, hopefully. I mean, I'm glad that the NFL draft is still going on as scheduled. I think it's April the 23rd. If I'm not mistaken, I'm very excited about that date. It'll be something to watch. I don't think the crowd, even though it started getting important for that, I think they can get by without having a crowd too. Now, are they going to have the players come there, or is it going to be everything going to be from home?
I think everything will be from home.
I mean, whatever.
You
can watch highlight reels and shit like that.
You've had cameras up in everyone's home. You've done it for years and years. They select people. You can still interview them interactively. You can still do your thing. We need the NFL draft right now. I know I need it for some kind of entertainment to kind of just go, all right, things are going to move in a normal direction. I'm not trying to put football as that almighty savior.
It is, boy.
I can't wait to see
you on that field.
Chase Young to go to the fucking rescue. Just say the shit so I can start talking. Goddamn, now let's talk to football, man. Obviously, I said my squad. Shout out to the Skins. I think we're getting Chase Young at the number 2 pick. I don't know what pick y'all got. I'm sure it's mid-round. But who do y'all see? Who are y'all kind of looking at from what you've been listening to as far as Eagles, and who do you want?
I was looking at this kid, Mims. I think he's from Baylor. He's good. I think the other guy, not Judy, but Jefferson. I forget what college he's from. We're not going to get CD Lamb. Probably won't get Ruggs. This guy, Mims, is good, but this guy from, I forget the college, but his last name was Jefferson, a wide receiver. And they're saying he possibly could be the next Julio Jones. Big guy, 6'2". I think he's like a 4'4", 4'3" guy. The other guy, Mims, is definitely a 4'3", guy. And I'm hoping that we can land, one of those guys. Some people are saying that we might go cornerback, but I'm thinking that the Philadelphia Eagles definitely need to go wide receiver. Why? We don't have nobody reliable for next year. J.J. Arcega, Whiteside's buns. Deshaun Jackson, I love him. One of my favorite guys ever. He's probably going to miss 4 or 5 games. You know what I mean? Hopefully. Alshon Jeffrey has a Liz Frank injury. He won't be back till like week 6. So who else you got? Not many people. I don't want to keep seeing this tight end dumping, dinking shit. I want to start airing this shit out like Philadelphia does, man. 80-yard bombs down that fucking field and having to run in. So you got to get a young guy, from college that's going to make that happen. And it's a lot of them this year. The wide receiver, this shit is thick.
Oh God, you said something that kind of makes me think. The Julio Jones is prototypical big body Terrell Owens. The wide receivers that we grew up loving are becoming a thing of a past for smaller, speedier receiver. But then you look at who's regarded as the baddest in the game, and Julio Jones is up there, and then big body receivers are up there. So why don't they get as good of a hype as your speedy receivers when we know that's still the cream of the crop when it comes to wide receivers, man? That big 6'2" and above, 215, 220 pounds, hands for days. You don't need to run a 4.2, but a 4.4 is good enough.
Right.
So when you throw it up there, I'm grabbing it, man. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I definitely, agree with that. Now, Justin Jefferson's from LSU. Okay. LSU Tigers.
Yeah, but that's okay. I know who he is.
Beast. But we see that. I think the NFL, it always changes. Like, used to be that the Charles Johnson, your big guys, Plaxico Burress.
Calvin Johnson.
Yeah, Calvin Johnson, my bad. Plaxico Burress, those big guys like that was the thing, Julio Jones and things like that was the guys. But now you see your, Deshaun Jackson, Tyreek Hill, yeah. Smaller, 5'8", 5'9", maybe 6 foot guys who run 4.3s and all over the place. I think it changes. Antonio Brown, but you still have your Amari Coopers. Mm-hmm. You still have your Julio Joneses. You still have your Devontae Parkers. You still have your dude from Seattle. What's my man's name? The big boy, 6'4". What's my man's name from Seattle? I'm drawing a blank. He just came out of college.
Yeah, he did just come out of college. I know you're talking about.
Yeah.
I know you're talking about.
We'll get it in a minute. Yeah. This dude, you ever see how big this dude was, yo?
I think his dad played a sport too. He's a big motherfucker.
Yeah, so it's like these dudes, it's going to be, I think, a perfect mixture of these dudes in the NFL. I think you're going to have both, because you still need that guy who can get those corner routes, the guy who can go up in the end zone and grab it, or the guy like Julio Jones, like no matter who's around him, he's coming away with the ball because his catch rate is so crazy. So, yeah, man, I'm loving it, man. I just think that, I just miss that for the Eagles in particular, a burner receiver. I mean, you remember, you watched the Eagles over the years. We never really had that guy. And when we did, we was bombed when we got T.O.
So what do you think about the opportunity you guys had in grabbing DeAndre Hopkins? Now, he's regarded as one of the top 3 fucking receivers in the NFL. I think that brother dropped maybe one ball in the last 2 years. He don't drop shit. And he got taken from Houston to Arizona for nothing.
Right. And
y'all had first dibs on him.
Well,
I'm glad it didn't happen, but why didn't it happen?
Well, I heard things that I've heard behind the scenes is that we didn't have the same. We didn't want the same thing from us.
Okay.
They wanted from him. I was hearing that they wanted Miles Sanders.
Okay.
You know what I mean? In return, and like a pick or something like that. For whatever reason, the guy they got from whatever team they traded with, that running back, I think they got. Yeah, they wanted that guy. Like, that was some reason they wanted that dude real bad, but they wanted the back. So I wouldn't have gave up Miles Sanders.
You're crazy.
Yeah, you just crazy. You ain't giving nothing like that.
No, I think you're crazy.
Huh?
I don't.
Hell no. Not when you got a draft with like at least 6 receivers that's probably going to be Pro Bowlers.
So in that same argument, what makes you think you can't grab a running back in the later rounds?
Not like that though. I think because he crazy. He burned y'all. That was a come out game too.
Well, you know how many fucking players that y'all had come out against us? I watched Michael Vick come back out from all that bullshit live.
Hell yeah.
So 9 touchdowns against us live on Monday night, man. Now, you ain't saying nothing on that, but you wouldn't do Miles Sanders for DeAndre. I'm surprised about that.
It was picks involved too. Nah.
Okay.
Nah, it's like, fuck him. Like, I mean, he's gonna be a star in this league, man. You can see it already. As long as he just keep himself, healthy, he's going to be one of those dudes. Like, all right, he's top 5 backs in the league. Trust me.
Does he have to? What was he, a rookie last year?
Yeah,
out of Penn State. So he was with Saquon and them balls.
Yep. They work out together in the offseason and everything, so they real cool and everything. Saquon's probably a more powerful runner, but yeah, I mean, out of the back. But this dude's going to be special. But I wouldn't have did it, man. I wouldn't have did it, bro. I was just like, you know what? I'll take my, chances with the And another thing you got to look at is like, money wise, you may be able to get a DeAndre. It's a gamble, and paying Miles Sanders still a rookie contract for another couple of years. You pay him another rookie contract. You gotta look at it like that. You know what I mean? So it's, it'd have been hard not to get him though. I'll tell you that.
Okay, so y'all passing him up. Will y'all not taking a first round wide receiver be a disappointment to you?
Definitely.
Okay.
Definitely.
I think that's fair. All right.
Unless we got like a corner, but still, it was just like you gotta, since you ain't get nobody from free agency, you didn't dump, you get at least, now you gotta get Amari Cooper, somebody a little bit less money. We didn't do that. So the fact that I see us, we gotta go first round. I would go first round wide receiver. Second round, I'll probably go cornerback. Then I'll go linebacker. Then I maybe go safety. But then I'll start going like O-line, maybe D-line, then O-line. That's what I would do if I was, the Eagles general manager right now for what I think they need this year.
Got a couple weeks, April
23rd, I think.
April 23rd, we will be tuning in. I know the Redskins don't have a second round pick, but we got Trent Williams out there on the trading block.
We got 3 thirds too. That's beautiful.
I think we got 2 thirds. So we're all right, man. It should be a good
we got 2. My bad.
Okay,
yeah. Definitely. It's definitely going to be good. I want to ask you about this, man, before we get ready to roll out of here. I want to make sure we're at that midpoint part. I think we are now, actually, at this moment.